You already knew something bad happened today. You checked anyway. You found something worse. Then something worse than that. At some point, you weren't even reading anymore, just moving through it, absorbing it, feeling worse with every scroll. Here's what's weird. You didn't choose that. Your brain did. And it had a very good reason. It just hasn't figured out that the world changed. Go back 200,000 years. Your ancestors woke up every morning with one biological priority, and it wasn't optimism. The brains that made it to tomorrow were the ones treating every unknown as a threat. Unknown sound in the dark? Threat. Unfamiliar person at camp? Threat. Bad news from the next valley? Very much a threat. The calm, easygoing brains didn't make it. The paranoid, hyper-vigilant ones did. Those are the ones that eventually made you. Scientists call what got left behind negativity bias. Your brain physically processes threatening information faster than neutral information, holds it longer, and keeps returning to it compulsively, the way your tongue finds a sore tooth even when you've decided to stop touching it. And this is where it gets dark. When you read about a wildfire in another country, your amygdala, which is the brain's threat detection system, activates as if that fire is outside your building. Cortisol releases, heart rate rises, your body physically prepares to move. But there's nowhere to move. The threat is on a screen, so your body stays coiled and your eyes keep moving, and you go to the next story. 200,000 years ago, threats had endings. The predator attacked or it moved on. The storm broke, the conflict ended, and your nervous system was allowed to rest. That's not how this works anymore. At any given moment, there are thousands of genuinely terrible things happening on this planet, and every one of them is in your pocket, updating in real time, sorted by an algorithm that has already worked out that fear and outrage keep you on the app longer than anything else. Nobody in a boardroom decided to make people miserable. They just optimized for engagement. Your ancient wiring handled the rest. Wait, it gets worse. The same system pulling you toward bad news also releases a small hit of relief every time you check and find that nothing terrible has personally happened to you. The dread builds. You look. You're still fine. Your nervous system unclenches slightly. Your brain files that tiny release as a reward. Dread. Check. Brief relief. Dread again. The whole time, your brain is labeling this behavior staying informed. But you're not staying informed. You're pulling a lever and waiting for the feeling to pass. Here's the part that tends to surprise people. The damage isn't just to your mood, it's to your model of reality. Your brain is a prediction machine. It constantly updates its estimate of what the world is like based on the information coming in. Feed it mostly disasters, violence, and systemic collapse, and it quietly starts treating those things as the statistical average of everyday life. Researchers who study this call it mean world syndrome. Heavy news consumers consistently and significantly overestimate the likelihood of violence and catastrophe in their own lives, even people living in places where crime rates have been falling for decades. You're not being well informed, you're being miscalibrated. And the cruelest part is that none of this makes you more prepared. Chronic stress research shows sustained cortisol actually degrades the prefrontal cortex, which is the part of your brain handling rational judgment and forward planning. Your brain is running threat simulations about events you cannot influence, while the actual decisions in your actual life get made by a nervous system that's already exhausted. So here's the part where I'm supposed to tell you to go outside and touch grass. I'm not going to do that. Your brain will always prioritize threats. That's not a bug you can patch. But what gets classified as a threat is something you can influence, and it starts with what you're feeding the system. A research team at the University of Exeter found that capping news consumption at 30 minutes a day reduced anxiety significantly, without meaningfully affecting how informed people actually were. The news didn't change. The nervous system got a break from the loop. Your brain also needs counterweight data, not positivity. Accurate information about things that are actually improving, consumed with something close to the same regularity as everything that isn't. You're not lying to yourself. You're correcting a biased input with better data. and the most immediate thing you can do is learn to clock the pattern when it's running. Dread. Check. Brief relief. Dread again. The moment you can see the loop, you're watching it instead of just living inside it. That's worth something. You came into this video feeling like something was wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. You're running 200,000-year-old software on a planet it wasn't built for. That's not a character flaw. It's just a very old design meeting a very new problem. If you want to understand how your brain constructs the story of who you are from broken and incomplete information, that's the next video. Watch it now.